Gewalt. Chavra, we're about to ascend. Right now, Samson is frozen and the rest of the screens are blank. So I'm assuming that we're not frozen. Gewalt. We're starting. We're ascending to the deepest waters. Everyone open up their hearts. This is the last paragraph in the narrow bridge. It's really the beginning, because this is where we do Chazara. Gewalt. If you want to enter God's service, remember all this very well. Strengthen yourself in every possible way and do what you can to continue with your devotions. Bind yourself, cling your heart to Hashem in every possible way, in every possible setting, in every possible circumstance. Eventually, with God's help, you will surely succeed in entering through the gate, right? The gate of holiness, the gate of clarity, the gate of vision. God is overflowing with love and very much wants your devotions. God just wants us to turn to him and say, I'm here. I'm here. Ribbona Sha'elam. Now attach yourself to me, which you will always are, but show me. Give me clarity. Show me the entrance to the gate. Show me the way around the shomer, like Samson has been telling us all along. Know that every single effort you make is important. Even a little thought, even a little action is so important. It's the small details that are really the biggest details. We have to be aware of this. Guys, I'm speaking like Rosh Shlomo Katz was speaking in the Sluminer story. I'm feeling it. All your attempts to detach yourself even slightly from the material world and draw closer to the spiritual are added together. It's so gewaldic that we're living in this beautiful world. If we're able to bring out Hashem, oh my gosh, Chavra, I've just been thinking about this line for the last couple of days. One of our rabbis from TVA, Reb Shimon Berman, texted the Shana Forever group chat. We all know Shana Forever. After you're done with Shana Aleph, Shana Bet, you're on to your journey for Shana Forever. Right? There's no Shana Bet, Shana Gimel, Shana Dalet. It's just Shana Forever. You're living the lifestyle. So we have a whole group chat with all the Talmidim. And Reb Shimon Berman said to the chat, the Piaseczna Rebbe says, the reason why it seems as if God is concealed in this world is because we allow him to be concealed. So maybe Rabbi Nachman is telling us to do as much as we can to reveal the Ribbona Shalom, to come closer to the Ribbona Shalom by acknowledging that he's there, by acknowledging that he runs the world. Everything will add up together at the end of the day. And this is the most important line. They will all come to your aid, and when you really need it, when you are under pressure or in trouble, God forbid. Rabbi Nachman is saying all the efforts, all the actions, all the thoughts of coming closer to Hashem, for improving yourself, they're just building up credits, building up blocks. And when you think you're at the point of breaking, that's when Hashem comes in and shows you that you're alive, that you're very much stable, and that you're going to continue to build the foundation, and you're going to continue to build many houses and cities. Rabbi Nachman concludes, and know that in life, a person has to pass over a very narrow bridge. The main thing is not to be afraid. In life, guys, things could seem like there's trouble, some difficulty, some opposition, hardships, beauty, sweetness, right? Because there's not only bad, there's so much beauty to this world. So much fire. so much unity, but it could also seem like a very narrow bridge. And we should never, ever be afraid, because we know that Hashem is holding our hand along the bridge. I'm here with you. I'm attaching myself to you. Will you attach yourself to me? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. Are we willing to attach ourselves to the Ribbon Shalom? The more we ask ourselves that question, the more we can prepare for those situations, good or bad. We really need to bind ourselves and cling ourselves to the Ribbon Shalom, the master of the world. Have our questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself and talk. I'm being even more specific than I was the last couple of nights.
I guess I'll go. Just to, you said something about detaching yourself from the material and focusing or moving towards the spiritual. It's a very interesting idea. The Rav, Soloveitchik, takes a different perspective. His whole thing, actually, one of his criticisms of mysticism, or at least extreme mysticism, I would say, not so much as mysticism, is that he said that there is sometimes a problem when people sort of detach themselves from the world, and that's not really what halacha says. Halacha is all about engagement in the world. It's taking Hashem and like kind of manifesting it daily, and like taking the abstract and concretizing it in a certain way. I think there is something to acknowledge in the that sometimes the material or the physical can blind you and can endanger your spiritual potency and that connection. But I do think, and what you really finished off on, like, I think it's less of a theological question and more of a mental, emotional, and practical question. A point is that, are we willing to prepare? Are we willing to walk that bridge? It's not so much, it's not so much, are we really, thinking about it, how I want Hashem in my life, but am I demonstrating it? And are we consistently, practically, doing halacha, following halacha, and acting that way? Because in a certain way, doing the will of Hashem is binding ourselves to Hashem. And that itself is, even in the deepest troubles and you're struggling, if you keep moving forward and say, Ani ma'amin b'Hashem, I will continue to keep Shabbat and Kashrut and relay all the halachot and still believe, because it's not even just that you believe like intellectually, you believe pragmatically, because you continue to serve and actualize Hashem's will, which is not so easy, because that shows a dedication and devotion and commitment. So I think that's it. Take your point where Rebbe Nachman saying, it's like, walk that bridge, physically walk that bridge. Don't just think about it. Do it.
Unbelievable. And I think, look, I have no clue what Rebbe Nachman is saying, mamash, and that's why we're together, to just try to get a little glimpse into what the tzaddik Sod Olam was really trying to tell us. But I think Rebbe Nachman is in agreement with the Rav, and he's in agreement with you, right? Maybe Rebbe Nachman is not telling us to detach ourselves from the materialistic world, but like you said, John, it's uplifting the mundane, right? It's walking that narrow bridge while you're in the streets, while you're in college, while you're in the workplace. Not always when you're in the Beit Midrash. It could be easier to walk that bridge when you're in the Beit Midrash. But when you're outside the Beit Midrash, are we walking down that bridge? So I think Rabbi Nachman is telling us, are we willing to separate ourselves a little, uplift the mundane around us, which can be so beautiful, and that could be the narrow bridge. That could be detaching yourself from the materialistic world, is really just, like you said, John, following the halacha, remembering Hashem, walking through those moments with Hashem, saying, Hashem, I know you're here, even when you just seem so far. I know you're right next to me. There's a reason why I'm here, right? Nothing is random. So, Bezrat Hashem. Again, I don't even know if that made sense, but thank you so much for sharing, John. Samson's just crying for Am Yisrael right now. There's really
yes, I'm like on the brink of tears. What does it mean to detach oneself from materialism? By the way, I didn't even know how. Maybe I didn't fully understand the whole shir, but to me, this sounded like we were talking about the process of going from entering into the gates of godliness and of His presence, and knowing that entering those gates means going everywhere we have to go with Him by our side. That's how I understood what you explained. Not sure where we fit in the materialism. Maybe I missed that. But either way, the Rebbeinu says in Sichot Aran, Mem, for everyone that knows the holy Torah, Mem and Sichot Aran is a very holy one. It's in the Torah of Dreidel. And he says there in Sichot Aran on the Torah of Dreidel, speaking about what it means to have a dreidel and spin a dreidel and be a dreidel as a person. And what it means to avodas Hashem in dreidel. Says that the process of raising oneself up and Hashem lowering Himself into this world is something that we encounter every single day, and it's something that we need to pay attention to, that we have the opportunity to, let's say, raise ourselves up, and we have to be aware that Hashem is bringing Himself down. This is of course this relates to the famous Torah and Chabad Hasidut of to make Hashem a dwelling place in this lower world. But in regards to the machloket, the apparent machloket between Rabbi Nachman and Rav Kook, or you said Rav Soloveitchik, the way Rav Kook, I think you quoted. We already know that Rav Kook said that he is the reincarnation of Rav Nachman, so there's no real machloket. So it's okay. He's just explaining it differently. But the Shomer She'omed B'Shar HaMelech, the guard that's standing at the gate, he's not a guard for the gate, as that I wrote in Hebrew. He's not a guard for the gate. He's a guard for everyone coming close to Hashem. He's the one guarding the person coming close to Hashem. We have ministering angels that are here protecting us every day. If you don't believe in them, go read Malchei Yesharis by Rav Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin. It's a whole book on how we know that angels are real. If you don't believe me, believe him. If you don't, go read his book.
Just hearing the tzaddikim just stirs the pot. It stirs the pot. It's so sad. I guess it's I guess we need the time limit, 40 minutes. I know this Chabura hasn't been going on for 40 minutes, but I know that's a free trial for Zoom. If it was more than 40 minutes, it would be too much light. Too much light. We just need to bring ourselves down. So Bezrat Hashem, Yoni, do you have anything to add onto the beautiful ideas from Samson and from Jonathan? Gewalt. They put it so perfectly. Thank you so much, Yoni, and thank you guys for putting it so perfectly and giving me and giving everyone else clarity. Bezrat Hashem should all be healthy, happy, and successful. Whether we're in IDC, getting ready for Shabbos Kodesh, like going to Bonjour, and bringing the bakery to his host house, wherever he's going, Renana, Tel Aviv, Tanya, or whether you're in Ariel University, getting ready for Rosh Chodesh, like we all are, trying to think about whether he's going to balance the Kabbalah with he knows the preparation will give him clarity. Oni Strassen, I always pronounce his last name the wrong way. I just got comfortable with Strassen. Your mom is so beautiful. And even when you didn't unmute yourself, you unmuted yourself. So Bezrat Hashem, guys, we should all be healthy, happy, and successful. and continue tomorrow night. Bezrat Hashem.